Okay.
I don't know what you're doing.
I was setting up the local recording, but it's good.
Oh, right.
This is going on YouTube, so we're all.
So I assume it doesn't exist.
No, I just started it, so we're
Wait,
good
are you
to
sure
go.
there are gnomes that do that for you?
I have to tell them that I want it.
Alright.
Alright, aggravate. Oh, I should do my little intro thing. On Skype is Sam Black. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
And he played the pre-release and looked at the spoiler and stuff and knows a bunch of stuff about Magic cards. I, on the other hand, have not seen pretty much any of these cards because I don't really look at spoilers, and I did not go to the pre-release.
You should put me in the title so that people don't come in and ask who's with you.
Oh, good idea. Going over red with Sam Black. Exclamation point. Alright. Aggravate. 5 mana, instant. Deal a bunch of damage. Oh, cool. That is, like, the most flavorful card I've ever seen in my life.
That's fair. You just, like, poke everyone, and they're like, "Arr!"
Yeah! Yeah, it's, like, the most intuitive flavor.
Also, it's pretty sweet when you cast it, because you're like, aggravate you, and they're like, "Arr!"
And they literally get aggravated. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to read the flavor text, too. Barbarians, they burn my favorite chair. We'll kill them all. Home run. Home run. I have no context for how to play limited.
Alright, so let me give you a tiny bit of context.
Please.
You remember that card from Shards that cost black mana instead of the second red and was an enchantment, but other than
Suicidal
that,
Charge?
very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, that card was awesome.
Yeah, so this is like that, but it's like an instant, which does some sweet stuff. Like, so it plays a little differently, but not very. Like, it doesn't shrink the power on their guys, which is a downside. But, like, you don't have to tell them in advance that it's happening, so it can also just, like, function as a combat trick and stuff.
Right.
Like, in the pre-release, my opponent, like, attacked me with this, like, 4-mana 2/2 that gets a +1/1 counter whenever a guy dies or it hits you, and, like, some 1/1s. And so I, like, block his, like, 2/2 with a 1/4, and, like, take some damage. And then at the end of his turn, I aggravate him to, like, kill his 2/2 and his 1/1s. And, like, he would never make that attack if a Suicidal Charge was in play.
Right, right.
And, like, I had to do it that way because...
Otherwise this guy would grow.
Like, do some stuff about it, and, yeah. So...
And, like, one damage is so freaking good in this format.
Yeah. Now that they just, like, don't print pingers anymore, like, they print a lot more, like, expensive one-toughness creatures, and people play a lot more expensive one-toughness creatures.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, it's just, like, doing 1 damage to all their guys is better in context in this set than it was in, Scars, especially since, like, there are all these, like, little soulbond dudes that are, like, shipping abilities, and you're just like, yeah, clear those out.
Right. Which, by the way, you're going to have to explain how Soulbond works to me once we get the first Soulbond card.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that it's an instant means you can blow out Soulbond in combat, which is not something you can do a lot in this set, and is ridiculously powerful. Also, it's just removal in this set, which is very rare. It doesn't, like, kill big guys, which is going to be a theme for red cards for the most part. But it does at least, like, kill utility guys, and I'm, like, desperate for anything that does that in this set.
Yeah. I mean, instant speed removal these days in pretty much every limited format's, like, hard to come by.
They went a little overboard in this set.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that card. It's neat. It seems like it's, like, it's also got this sort of falter effect if you're, like, some aggressive red-white deck, right?
Yeah, you make a bad alpha strike, I'll ignore it and kill you.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
It only works, like, you know, it doesn't work on the guys they just cast, so it only works, like, once the board's stabilized or whatever.
Pretty loose falter effect, but, I mean, it can get the job done.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
better
yeah.
when you have a bunch of big dudes and you're just like, come at me, eat all your guys.
Yeah,
But,
obviously. But like,
like,
I definitely like the just anything that lets me like trade up. I'm a huge
sure.
fan of because like my limited game is definitely I'm definitely of the school of thought of like 2 3s instead of 3 1s. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know if that means anything, but
It means you're not gonna like red overall in this set.
all right, good to know. Thanks for the heads up coming in.
Prepare to hate it.
Awesome. Arcwing Dragon. Oh, it's Viashino whatever.
Yeah. It is actually a Vishino whatever. There are a bunch of different ones you could compare it to. It's just like all of them.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. And you said that there's not a lot of instant speed removal, right?
Yeah, this guy probably just like murders people every turn in limited.
Interesting. I think I'm gonna call this guy a real pet. What's the opposite of imaginary?
Real?
A literal pet.
I was thinking of him more as like Pulse the Forge with buyback, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't
With
play
return-
then. I only know the pulses from the history books. So
Okay.
I like is there some what's the card called? Pandemonium or whatever? It's like where the ancients tread. Is there something sweet like that you can like combo with this thing?
The card like that in this set doesn't combo with this guy.
Oh, that's awkward.
I don't know if you updated your title. It didn't update for me, but it might be that I need to refresh or something.
Yeah, you need to refresh the whole thing.
Yeah, all right, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, moving on.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to say about this dragon. I don't know if you want to talk about constructed applications of red cards, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not really a color in red or in constructed for the most part.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm over it. Banners raised. Whatever. Are there any like token makers? Is there anything that makes this cool besides what it is?
This is actually like I have actually told someone to put it in a deck at pre-release.
Interesting.
Red is like super aggressive and has a make 3/1/1s with haste card that's like actually good.
3/1/1s with haste.
Yeah, but they die at the end of the turn. It's like a weird ball lightning.
Oh, okay. That is a weird ball lightning.
Yeah.
It's like Waylay or whatever that card's called.
Yes, it's like Broken Waylay, but where it actually works better than Broken Waylay would in this set because you need them to come into play the turn that they're attacking for some other triggers.
Okay. Well, I assume we'll get to those.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's got more applications than say like Trumpet Blast or whatever that card was called.
Trumpet Blast like has had some formats where it was okay, but it's kind of like that.
Right.
It's not like I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying you'll play it most of the time, but there are some decks that kind of want it.
All right, fair enough. Battle hand, whatever. Some like weird combo card.
Yeah, maybe there's like some pauper deck that's really into this, but
Yeah.
it's not really relevant for drafting.
Yep. Bonfire of the Damned. What the?
Yeah, it doesn't really get any more ridiculous than that for limited. Also, I think it's a bit of a powerhouse in constructed.
Oh my god. This is the card that is going to keep me from top 8 in the PTQs, the day 2 in the GPs. This is the one.
Yeah, so like if you don't miracle it,
It's like almost fair.
At X equals 1, it's cheaper than Lavalanche. At X equals 2, it's Lavalanche for 2 in 1 color. At X equals 3, you're paying 1 more mana than you were paying for a 3-mana
Wow.
Lavalanche. And then, by the way, you can miracle it.
Whoa, when you put it like that, it's not so fair.
Yeah, the card's like very real and constructed, and just like beyond absurd and limited.
I mean, like, I definitely want to do this to Lingering Souls.
Yeah. Yeah, like having played some tokens against this card in some constructed testing, your board goes away and it doesn't really cost them anything. Like, it's really bad for you.
Yeah, card's sweet. I like this border.
Oh yeah, the miracle border.
I mean, it's not that I like this border specifically, it's just
Right.
that I like that they did something with the border for the miracles.
Sure. Do you want to talk about miracle?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, I don't mind any of the like strategic or gameplay implications of the mechanic. I think it's like fine enough in terms of like how balanced it is and how luck based it is and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What I hate about Miracle is that for the rest of time in Legacy, I technically should change my habits about how I draw cards, because having played with Miracle cards, the way that I draw cards when I'm not thinking about it does not in any way give me a window to cast them.
Exactly my thoughts.
And like it's like every time I draw a card from now on, I'm going to have to spend an extra second or fraction of a second, and like that adds up really quickly.
Yes.
Like that's a real amount of time in my life.
Yes.
Like yeah, I really like I would be totally fine with this mechanic if it existed for one set and then like was removed from Magic forever and banned in all formats. But like I really hate the long-term applications of there being one set worth of cards that have this gimmicky mechanic, and from now on you're giving away information in constructed Magic if you don't acknowledge that it existed once.
That is exactly what I said when they first spoiled it. Like they spoiled the lava axe that also hits guys and the time walk, and I was like, it's very possible that one of these is playable in Legacy.
Yeah.
Which means that even if it's fringe playable,
Yeah.
for the rest of time, I have to do this.
Yeah.
In every single game.
Yeah. Like, it just makes me change my habit in a way that, like, I've played against people who draw their cards in a way that would work for Miracle. And it's a miserable experience.
Yeah!
Like,
I don't want to be one of those guys!
dude, why are you wasting so much time? Like, you don't need to make a show of drawing every single one of your cards. But...
Yep, we are so smart, Sam.
yeah, it's kind of infuriating.
Yeah.
But...
Definitely. Somebody that didn't get it on when I said this, like when they first spoiled it, I said it, I don't know if it was on stream, I think it was just on Facebook, but somebody was just like, what, it's not that big a deal. It's just like, alright, well, imagine Delvering.
Yeah, that would suck.
Every single turn.
And I still forget that some of the time.
Yeah, yeah. And when you, like, brainstorm on their turn, guess what?
Yeah, you have to draw one of them first.
Yup.
Like, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone cast Brainstorm, but I'm guessing they took 3 off the top and looked at them all at once.
Yup. Like any sane person would.
Yeah. Like, literal everyone who casts Brainstorm draws 3 at once. And now everyone has to, like, add a second to every single one of their Brainstorms to draw one card, look at it, and then draw the other 2. Actually, that might be more than a second. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty infuriating. I just really hope that that they're either, like, horribly not playable, or they just ban them. Like,
I mean, there's no way they're going to ban all of them.
No, but if they ban, like, the I guess they would need to ban, like, 4 of them, right? That's so many.
At least.
God.
Like, with Brainstorm, like, the White Wrath thing seems absurd. I guess you don't know every card.
No, I know the big ones. I know the Wrath, I know the Upheaval, and the 5 damage and the Time Walk.
And Bonfire.
And yeah, and now this thing.
Like, I mean, isn't that, like, actually a good answer to, like, Nimble Mongoose and Legacy with Brainstorm? Like...
Yeah, and, like, Lingering Souls and...
Yeah, like...
Stoneforge
Mystic
Mystic
and stuff. How real do you think this card is in Legacy?
I mean, I don't know because we have to see what the other cards do to Legacy.
Sure.
Like, I'm definitely prepared for... Because, like, as you know, I was predicting in Legacy.
Okay.
Like, I was a big fan... thank you. I was a big fan of Predict. And now... And, like, just because you know the top card often enough from
Right.
Brainstorm Ponder, like Delver, my Goblin Guide attacks and whatnot. But now, there's this whole new thing of, like, instead of Predict, what if you're playing just tops without counterbalances, and then, like, board into your counterbalances, and you're playing, like, Preordain starts seeing play again, in, like, the Nimble Mongoose style deck. Like, there are definitely... I mean, I'm not saying this is gonna happen, or even that it's likely, but it's possible that there's this huge shift towards all these cards that are not only, like, super time-consuming to play with, but also, like, annoying, right?
Dear God, if everyone starts playing top and Scroll Rack, do you know how long Scroll Rack takes to play properly?
Especially with having the Delver on your first draw with it.
Yeah, and Scroll Rack is actually absurd with Miracle.
Yeah. Because you get the Brainstorm effect and the top effect.
Right. You just never, like, miss. I mean, like,
Yeah.
all of your miracles are always on the top of your deck. Like, if you draw them at any other time, you put them back and cast them. Like, it's just...
Yeah, like, I really hope that doesn't happen.
Okay.
But the fact
being
that...
able to Wrath for 1 mana whenever you want seems pretty absurd.
Yeah! Like, it definitely seems absurd enough that people are going to at least try it.
Yeah.
And, like, people are going to try and Time Walk in their Thresh decks and to Lava Axe in their Price of Progress decks, you know. But I'm afraid that if they become a problem, then not only what we've already talked about, where you have to change how you play, but that they'll go after Brainstorm and Top.
Right.
And not the Miracles.
Right. And then people will just play Scroll Rack and Ponder and Preordain.
Well, people won't be able to because Legacy will die.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it is legitimately possible that the Miracles will be devastating for Legacy.
Yeah. Just because, like, Brainstorm's already on the very precipice of, you know, the pushing the power level, and...
Yeah, I mean, the only reason Brainstorm wasn't banned years ago is because it's, like, you know, like Soul Ring and EDH.
Yeah, exactly. And then, Top, like, they've already set a precedent of banning Top because it's close enough to too powerful and, like, ruins tournaments.
Right.
So, like, if those become even more issues...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's scary, but
yeah.
I'm not, like, confident. I'm not saying Legacy is dead, but it's definitely something that I'm, like, tentatively keeping my eye on, you know?
You're not about to invest in a bunch of duels.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Like, you might not sell the ones you have, but you're definitely not buying now.
Perfect description of how I'm feeling right now. Burn at the stake. Tap some creatures. You dome them. Whoa, wait. Is this red overrun?
Yeah. But it's also just a spot removal spell if you need it.
Oh, it hits guys also?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So it's... Yeah, you can just, like, bolt something. Or, like, 9 them.
Conservatively.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know what the game states play out like, but this card seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, triple red might be debilitating. Like, I don't know, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the best rare in the set.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm not often saying this looks bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be the best rare. Like, I haven't thought about all of them. I'm not counting mythics.
Well, it's sort of like Blaze, right? Like, if you need to kill a guy, you can kill a guy, but most of the time you're just going to kill them.
Right.
Sorry if there's, like, annoying sounds right now, but I'm unwrapping a sandwich.
Okay.
Oh, delicious sandwiches. Okay. Also, I'm going to be eating a sandwich while we talk.
Oh, also I haven't eaten, so my typical stomach gurgle might happen at some point.
Okay, hey, you should look at my stream right now at this delicious sandwich that was just brought to me.
I'm guessing it's not something I'd eat.
No, it's got a lot of meat on it, but it's also got like this awesome cheese and lettuce and tomato and oil and vinegar and this amazing bread. This is like my favorite bread ever.
Are you trying to bull start me right now?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, do you want to tell that story or should I? Because the people don't know that story.
You're probably better for telling stories.
Okay. Well, it was just like the top 8 of a PTQ, right?
Something like
Yeah, it is some random PTQ back in the day. Bill's against this guy.
I mean, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume it was top 8.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, thinking about it, he's playing for top 8. But, he's playing against this guy who is, like, audibly complaining about how hungry he is. Oh, I haven't eaten all day, I'm so hungry. And Bill's friends come back with, like, Wendy's or whatever, and they got him food, and he just unwraps his fries and his burger, and just lets it sit there, like, in between him and his opponent for the whole match. Like, wafting it in his direction. He, like, took a bite and was just like, that's so good, and then, like, left it there with one bite in the whole match. The guy's just, like, staring at the burger, he's, like, sweating, he like, can't even see his cards. And, yeah.
Yeah, and then Bill wrote about, like, how this is a sweet play to, like, put his opponent up.
Yeah, although, to be fair, shortly thereafter was GP Denver, Lawrence block, my only GP topic. And I'm playing with a guy. It's game 3. We're going to game 3. And he's been kind of playing a little awkwardly. And he says, like, let's have a quick game 3, because I really have to go to the bathroom. Oh no, the sound is messing up. Alright, I'll just